Quickly before we get started in this video, something I've actually only just realized is that this mod changes every faction to be Tetsojin, which is the Japanese faction. Again, I'll talk more about that in the video in a second. I didn't realize that whilst I was recording this. However, it is a pretty fun kind of take on things. So just keep in mind that when I do mention like, oh, I wonder how these units will fare, it changes every single faction to be the samurai Japanese kind of gun faction. So just keep that in mind when watching this. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Mountain Blade to a bannerlord. Today we are diving back in with the Tetsojin mod. I wanted to basically show off one of the awesome sub mods that have recently popped up over on Nexus mods. At the end of the video, I will show you guys exactly how to install this one. So if you're having any problems, that will hopefully go ahead and answer them and show you how to get this campaign up and running. It's super easy, so make sure you stick around towards the end of the video. So if you guys don't know the Tetsojin mod, there is two variants of it. There is this one that I'm showing off today that has guns in it, some pretty cool ones at that, and then there is more of a kind of traditional samurai one. So kind of think of them as more of like an imperialistic one, and then more of kind of an older one that has kind of more of a samurai in. So the gun one that I thought I'd show off today, because I haven't actually shown this one off before, has a pretty diverse roster. All the Tetsojin recruits actually start off with a rifle, a Teppo, which is actually kind of incredibly strong, because in the early game and when armies get destroyed, you're basically going to have tons of missile units. That's going to be your mainstay unit in the beginning of the game. So that's going to make this faction just absolutely incredible and very, very strong indeed. They then expand off on their unit tree, so they can go down to the right hand side, which gives them access to more riflemen. And then these riflemen kind of get more and more armor, better assets to go ahead and wield. I think the tier 3s, tier 4s, yeah, no, actually even the tier 2s and the tier 1s, yeah, they all go ahead and get kind of decent two-handed swords. Obviously the swords themselves gonna go ahead and enhance and get better and better. You can see them getting way stronger as they go on. And then finally the final tier goes ahead and gets a common katana, which is two-handed. So that's actually only one-handed sword. Okay, no, it's type two-handed but classed as a one-handed. That's kind of weird. Either way, they get access to better rifles as well, which have way more piercing. You can see these ones basically will just rip through armor when they volley off. I'm not sure how well their accuracy is. We'll jump into a battle so we can take a look and see at some units, but that's going to be interesting because, you know, killing a lot of cavalry. Cavalry is king in 1.8 onwards. So that's going to be very interesting to see how kind of the rifles do deal with that, because, of course, they can pierce through the armor, but can they hit them? The cavalry is quite maneuverable. You can also get a nice line of skirmisher cavalry as well with rifles, so kind of a line of dragoons. And they are also equipped with a katana. Again, this is not going to be the type of unit that you're going to really want to go ahead and get stuck into melee, but great at skirmishing, kind of outmaneuvering, getting around the flanks and volleying in. I imagine their range is pretty decent as well with these rifles. They go up to a decent skill of 130. The rifles go up to 160, which I think is pretty standard. I don't know how much battalion Thanes are. Let me see. How much are they? Battalion Thanes. Yeah, how much do they go up to? So these are obviously the noble troop line. So they go up to 260 bow skill. That's the noble troop tree, which again, we'll take a look at these noble troop trees in a second. You also have the more traditional infantry units. And again, the Tetsojin mod has been updated since I last covered it. So you have plenty of new armors, weapons, other stuff. A lot of the shoulder pads, I think, have been replaced and added in, which is cool. And you can see some of the higher tier units. And then obviously the eventual Tetsojin heavy cavalry with that Yari. I mean, that's, you know, what more can you want from cavalry than this huge big ass glaive? The armor is actually kind of, this is like one of the downsides of the Japanese faction, and again, I like the mod how he's kind of introduced these kind of downsides to the faction, because overall the unit roster is really strong. However, the armor that they have is not as good as everybody else's. A lot of the higher tier factions, like the Empire Legionaries, have way better units. If we go over here, we'll take a look at that. We'll go to we'll just check out Valandia, and then we'll go to their footmen and look at their high tier units, like their heavy armor. Oh, actually, their heavy armor is 34 as well. Okay, is it the cavalry? Okay, more than you know. I guess it's the general armor that goes up to 60. Okay, actually, that's not as bad then. The Tetsojin armor seemingly does do a pretty good job right there. And yeah, as I said, you can go obviously get the spear variant, and then you have the normal variant of unit roster as well, with the armor looking great. You want to take a look as well. If we go over to this screen, you can see some of my armor as well with that rifle on my back. Got some bullets and also some shuriken and a blade right there Looking very nice. Then if we take a look at the castle troops for noble troop line as well, you can see these guys right here, and they go up into a nice little kind of section. So you basically go up into some very elite skirmisher dragoon-esque cavalry right here. Again, 260 bow skill. Seems like it's a pretty decent setup. It says bow skill, but this is a crossbow, so that might be a little bit of a bug in this because, yeah, they have like no crossbow skill, which is obviously this is a crossbow. So yeah, we found a bit of a bug there. Hopefully the developers can sort that one out. And then you have the normal Tetsojin elite armor unit. These guys are super scary. They have that cannon bow, which is like basically a big old mace, and it kicks ass, trust me. Yeah, that's gonna rip through most things you end up fighting against in the campaign. If you haven't seen the Tetsojin mod before as well, it does add in a brand new faction to the east of the map, and I'm really interested to see actually how these guys will fare in a normal battle. Like, how will these guys do in 1.8 now that the AI is super aggressive? Are they going to get like run over? Are they going to be able to really withstand the the Kuzites and everybody else? It's a real nice dynamic shift to having this extra faction, not replacing anybody, just adding in extra settlements, and it's really cool. I'd love to see more settlements kind of added like over here with new factions, and maybe in the north as well. That would be really cool to kind of just add in more content to the game with other mods as well. So let's dive into a quick battle. I'll upgrade myself to clan rank 2, and we'll jump into a battle with the Tetsojin faction, and we'll see what their units are made of and how they fare against the larger forces at bay. Okay guys, so here we are in a battle. You guys can see some of these units in action. So what I've gone ahead and done is basically form up multiple gun lines right now, and you can already start to hear the guns firing off. There are new animations for them, and also new reload stuff, so you can really get to see the smoke piling up. Our guns over on the right hand side, our infantry line, and you can see their gunfire coming in as well. Really cool stuff, and yeah, it looks awesome. Be great as well, and they can start getting some more custom animations in as well for the guns if that is something they do plan on doing. And you can see the rifles. So what I've done is I've set my rifles up on multiple positions. I have one set up over here with the low tiers. And I think that the new gun sounds as well are a great addition to this mod. And then we're going to also probably bring up the main line over here. Yeah, let's bring up our main line just to be like a little bit... Oh, wait, this is this main line. Let's bring up our main line here, and we'll bring these guys in a little bit more. I mean, they have a large amount of range, but still. We also have our skirmisher cavalry as well. Like, our dragoons will push out on that flank as well as the enemy pushes in, and we'll continue to fire. Again, more rifles, the cavalry moving their way in. This is obviously a much smaller army than we'd normally be dealing with, but as they get closer and closer, that's when the rifles will really start to do their damage. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, look at this. It completely brought them in. And I imagine against most infantry factions, this will be like a good way of bringing down the enemy. But yeah, I'm very kind of intrigued to see how the enemy, like how these factions will deal with factions who have tons of cavalry. We also have our shuriken as well. We'll just throw out. Quickly reload up. And fire in once again. So yeah, the musket itself is very deadly. It doesn't do like insane damage, but 60 damage to the chest is still pretty decent. That armor is relatively good, and I think against most high tier units you'll do good. You can see the the rifles are struggling a little bit against my armor. I've got the best armor in the game right now. I think it's like 60 armor. You can see that on good units, again, it's going to rattle off. And then, of course, units are going to have shields as well. So when you fight the Imperium, that's going to be an interesting take on that. Like, are they going to be strong enough to deal with that? And you can see as well that reload speed really coming in. Again, we'll shoot him right there and then come in and slaughter him with our blade. Oh, as well, yeah, I guess I am on the easy difficulty as well as recording that, so damage will vary on myself because of that. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really strong and fun faction. It's kind of a very different play style when you are just racking up lines and lines of guns. And when you get to the higher tiers as well, they get good two-handed weapons as well. So you're going to really be kind of doing that like next level setup. And what would be insane as well is if they actually ever manage to get, say, like artillery in or something along them lines as well. That'd be really goddamn cool. Yeah, that'd be absolutely crazy cool for sure. So yeah, I believe this mod does also, because the sub mod does change, yeah, this the Kazites as well to a separate faction clan as well, which are kind of all Japanese based as well, which again makes things kind of interesting because you have to fight both of these guys and bring them down. So that's going to be that for the video. I will go ahead and do the install guide now, so if you're interested in how to install any mods or just this mod, I will go ahead and link that. Also, little heads up as well, Serve as a Soldier and also My Little Warband have been both updated for 1.8, so if you are looking to use them, you can now use it. They have been updated for the hotfix. That is something to do, but let's jump in. If you are leaving the video now, please do consider dropping a like and a comment down below. It really helps out, especially because of the watch time. By doing these install guides, it kind of reduces watch time because people click off, so I appreciate it. And again, if you just want to leave the video on mute towards the end, that also helps out as well. So yeah, let's go and dive into the install guide now. Okay guys, so it is super easy to get these mods installed. All you have to go ahead and do is, first off, we want to make sure that we are on the correct beta branch of the game. So all you have to do all you have to do is right click on your bannerlord in your Steam library, go down to properties, go down to betas, click on betas, and then find 1.8. One of the biggest things whenever you're playing or looking to mod anything in bannerlord is always make sure you're on the right version for the mods you are installing. If you have a 1.7 mod and you're on 1.8, that's not going to work. If you have a mod on 1.7 and a mod on 1.7.2, that's not going to work. You have to make sure that you have the exact right version, and that's really easy to do. Also, if you want to go back to the vanilla current patch, all you have to then do is click none and opt out of it, and it will download the correct files. I also do recommend as well, you do always go ahead and verify your game integrity before installing any mods. So make sure that you have a clean slate and no weird mods laying around that you shouldn't have that could cause a crash. Now that we've got that installed, you're going to want to go over to the Tetsojin Warfare pack and go ahead and click the download button. Obviously, we are playing on 1.8 and we have to find the one with a 1.8 right here, so you can go ahead and get that installed. So go ahead and click manually download and then click the slow download. You do need an account, but you don't have to pay for premium. Just keep that in mind. Just click slow download and you'll be good. As you guys saw, there are also some sub mods as well, and you can install them by using the exact same method that we are doing in this video. Now that we have that mod downloaded, you're going to want to go ahead and open it with WinRAR, 7-zip, kind of whatever unpacker that you do have installed. And then you're also going to want to go ahead and find out where you place this. And again, it's really easy to find, but all you have to do is right click on your Mountain Blade of Bannerlord. You go down to properties, you go down to local files, and you go ahead and click browse right here. This will take you to your Bannerlord folder. Then you go into your modules, you then go ahead and open up what you just downloaded and drag and drop, and then it should just work perfectly. For me, it's going to come up saying, do you want to replace these files? Because I've already got it installed, as you guys can see. But for you guys, it should just drop in besides the native folder. So yeah, this mod does change the native files a little bit. So again, if you want to start a campaign on any other mods, you're going to have to just verify your game integrity before doing that, because that will delete the files that it does replace, because it adds in settlements, obviously, which won't be in the base game. So again, once you got that installed, that should just work, and you just go ahead and open it. Make sure you turn the mods on, and you should be good to go. But as I said, just make sure that you do go ahead, and verify your game integrity, like I just showed you. If you want to go ahead and play any other mods or anything else, because this does change the base game. But again, super easy to do. Click verify game integrity, it will delete the files and reinstall the ones that you need. And there you go. That is how you install the Tetsojin Warfare mod, where you can have some fun with the guns and try and take everybody on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you drop a like and a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.